All right. More Rege-Jean page news. Man, it just don't stop, right? So check this out. All right, a little bit of update here. So we all are aware that they said he reportedly turned down a major paycheck to return for season 2. All right, for those of you who not aware, Rege-Jean Page, he only signed up to do one season on Bridgerton, okay? All right, and of course, I don't think anybody knew that this show was going to blow up the way it did. I mean, of course, you hope for a show to do good, but this right here, this was the show towards the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. They said the actor opened up about the decision in a statement saying that his character's art was completed. Okay, so we're aware of that. But here's something that I did not know. The Hollywood Reporter reported that that he turned down the potential for a guest star spot in the new season. It said Page would have been paid $50,000 in episode pay per paycheck. Well, per episode, but he turned it down. $50,000 per episode. It says here that, let me see. It doesn't say how many episodes, but I'm assuming, let me see. Last year, the first season, they had about 10 episodes, I believe, or 11. Now, maybe he would have got like a 2 to 3 episodes, so, and they paid him, and they offered to pay him $50,000. Now, the way I look at it, if they're offering to pay him $50,000 to be in a guest spot, well, I wonder how much was his contract in year 1. Was it less than that? Now, my thing is this. Hey, I'm not knocking the other actors on the show. I'm pretty sure they're all good actors and actresses and everything, okay? But who was the face of this show that we saw? Rege-Jean Page. Who was on SNL and who did an amazing job? Rege-Jean Page. You remember? See, Colin Jost, who's a regular, who's one of the stars on Saturday Night Live, he said, hey, due to COVID-19, they're not used to the crowds being as loud as they used to be before the pandemic. And he said he was backstage and all of a sudden the crowd, like, he could hear like loud screams from the crowd and everything. And he was like, how many people are out there? I know it's not a full house due to social distancing and everything like that, like they do in the audience on the SNL stage in the studio. Okay, he goes out there and Rege-Jean Page is killing it. And he said that he haven't seen anybody perform like that in the beginning in his early monologue since pre-pandemic, because you had more people. Well, those 25, 30 people that was there in the audience, they was just as loud as it would normally be with, like, I guess they normally have like a couple hundred people there. I don't know. Somebody Google that and tell me in the comments how many people they normally have in SNL at the studio before the pandemic. Okay. Now, and he went out there and he was just like, man, dude was killing it. All right. I mean, Colin Jost has no reason to make this stuff up, right? The dude is married to Scarlett Johansson, so why would he lie to us about that? He's married to Scarlett Johansson, aka Black Widow. But anyways, this dude here, he has that it factor, man, and the dude is like, I mean, it's. But back to Bridgerton, only $50,000. I remember, was it about like 15, 16 years ago? The cast of Friends, they negotiated to get $1 million per episode. And this was like in the late 90s or early 2000s, right? So I'm not sure how much superstar actors or actresses are receiving per episode in hit shows. But I will tell you this. I believe it was like over 80-something million people have watched the show Bridgerton. A big chunk of them watched that show because of that young man. Maybe they didn't start the show because of him, but he kept them there. All right. So the thing about it is, hey, you only going to offer this dude $50,000 per episode? I'm going to be scratching my head for a while on that one. I don't know. I think the young man deserves more on that, but hey, you get what you negotiate. So maybe that's all that they can afford to give him on whatever their budget is. And I understand that. You stick to your guns on your budget. But so take it or leave it, whatever. But if you're him, listen, take your chances and do your movies. Here's the thing. The way I look at it, push come to shove, season 3, you could come back on Bridgerton. All right. If the ratings continue to be good in season 2, which I hope that the ratings continue to be good, because the way I look at it, if we ever want to have the opportunity for this young man to return, well then guess what? The show is going to have to continue to do good. All right. Now, and I like the other characters on the show. He's not the only interesting character in there, but it's one of those things. It's like, okay, you take the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. All right. You have LeBron James on that team. You have Anthony Davis on that team, who's an all-star, all-NBA player. All right. They have other good players, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell and stuff. They're the freaking Los Angeles Lakers, for crying out loud. But check this out. It's a difference when LeBron James is not playing. That's not saying the other players are not good. They still have good players. AD is great. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, first ballot, most likely, at the rate he's going. But when LeBron James is not playing, that's a big difference, people. All right? Rege-Jean Page is the LeBron James of Bridgerton on that show. All right? So, because the way I look at it, let's say if Bridgerton, let's say the first season was awesome, but let's say he came back and he did the second season, and let's say the second season was terrible. Guess who's going to be the face of it? Rege-Jean Page. All right. So here's my thing. Pay him, or hey, Rege-Jean Page, man. Hey, bro, go do your movies, man. It's plenty roles. It's some other roles outside of Superman. I could see you being. I could see this young man being Gambit. I could see him being Gambit for real. But we'll talk about that later in a later piece. Okay. All right. Student of the game. Hey, comment below. Let me know. Do you think Rege-Jean Page should have came back to do for a guest starring role on season 2 of Bridgerton for $50,000 per episode? Or do you think that the $50,000 per episode is too low an offer for someone on his caliber right now? Comment below, hit the like and subscribe button. Student of the game.